Hello, Divine Masculine. This has been an interesting start to the holiday season, hasn't it? I sit here watching the rest of the world travel around me, and there are so many things I could do, should do, will do. And yet, what I find I have the most pleasure in is thinking of you, dear masculine. Except for lately, I am of two minds. I cannot deny the hurt feminine in me is amused by how badly your day of gratitude went. Though the divine feminine in me, not that as a divine feminine I have no shadows. I simply like to associate my divinity more so with my light than with my ego, and that part of me, she wants to nurture you so bad. To say, oh, my poor masculine. No family and no friends. No one to be grateful for. No loving prayers said over a meal. None of your favorite foods cooked in your favorite ways, much of which you probably aren't even sure of how they get cooked that way, because you've always had a mother or a lover who cared enough to know for you. And I know it's a hard shock of reality to be the one having to plan everything and keep everything together, and then feel the shock and burn of learning that your true loved ones, those truly closest to you, want to be nowhere near you right now. And to be honest, it's not just because of the karmics you are wrapped up with right now while you learn your lessons, though they do not help, especially as they burn and scorn those who love you most and need you most, and then do the same to you and convince you to act a fool and pretend like nobody can see exactly what is happening. There are times, dear masculine, that sometimes I think that maybe you really don't know that everyone can see, that it's not just me. That in fact, what you think is gossip coming from me is usually gossip coming to me. That I rarely pass on. Though lately I've learned to just enjoy the humor in humanity and go with what I feel called to do in each moment. Though, dear masculine, everyone can see. And I worry because you have always had such hard times with fears of humiliation and are still learning humility. And as the tea spills all over the floor and people see, it is not just from karmic energies, but from you. I know you are feeling it. You are likely already beating yourself up in your head for the same rumors that are likely to come to your eyes soon and your ears about unreliability, toxic masculinity, being so wrapped up in how many women are chasing you and being caught up in greed and money and drinking and lust, while you leave behind and act disloyally to those who have been there for you. And the unfortunate thing is that I know this is temporary. I know you never really got to live out your childhood or teenage years in the ways we all deserve to. And I know that much of this is just that, although I also try to remind myself that whatever point in life where we live out the times in our lives when we choose partying over responsibility, or we choose power over compassion, or we choose money over family, or we choose masks and lies and deceit over following our heart, that we never learn how to get out of those positions if we never have anybody call us to the carpet. If we never have anybody say, hey, you're being a jerk face, and everybody can see. And nobody wants to be around somebody who isn't listening, who isn't at least reciprocating the love. Another hard lesson I know you're learning, dear masculine, you have associated for a long time that love is money. It's how much you pay for things. It's how much things cost. You've associated it with sex and how much you get or give. And I know, dear masculine, you're learning that while those both do tend to go hand in hand when you do have genuine love, because of the way that the world works, neither are actually necessary for true unconditional love. And when you have true love, those things are good. They multiply. They're pleasurable. When you do not have love, those things are not fun. And they are not abundant. And they don't make you feel better. They don't equal love. And I know, because you're learning these lessons the hard way, and likely beating up on yourself because you could have learned them when you went through them the first time. I know that you are probably sitting there in the extra quiet that you have created between us since the holiday, asking yourself why you're so stubborn and stupid. Why it is that you thought that this separation was some sort of a competition. Why it was that you thought that love was pain and pain was love. Why it was that you chose to put your fears and the whispered emotional controls of your karmics above your family, your children, your divine feminine, your friends, and even your job. I know that Karma, as a divine goddess that she is, well, when we don't listen to her, she can be a bitch. And dear masculine, I know you are learning this. I know even more so by how extended your silence is. And it's funny because I can feel both the side of me that is excited for you. Because as you feel that pull into the darkness, I know you and your stubborn bratty butt, and it will propel you into the light, determined to leave an obituary for the old you, the you that you have been, not just this year, but for some time, the unreliable, the deceitful, the guilty, even narcissistic at times. I know that you are getting ready to say goodbye to those versions of you that you have been when you have struggled in pain cycles of trying to be someone you are not, to try to please people who are never going to be pleased. And I know that you are saying hello to the birth of the new you, the new masculine who actually finds it fascinating to consider himself divine, who is reliable and humorous and full of humility. The masculine I met, who never tried to impress me by being what he was not. The masculine who was so fed up with greed and consumerism and being asked to do everything under the sun and getting nothing back. The masculine who simply smiled and said, "This is me." The masculine who loved me, loves me, who can't stop bringing up when we met, even when we're supposed to talk about things that have nothing to do with us. The masculine who has tons of letters and notes and things yet to be said, who is trying so desperately to avoid his feelings for me that he thinks that he can hide in the silence and the distance and the time. The masculine I know is learning the difference between the toxic love he had before me and the feelings of withdrawal from that toxicity, and the difference between that and the true love of missing a divine feminine. And all she did for him because she wanted to, because she could. And I know that when you come out of this silence, it's going to be good. And I know there might be some ups and downs on the way here and there. In fact, I'm positive there will be. There were for me on my way to divinity, and there still will be. Though, as I've been telling you, both playfully and seriously, I enjoy the contrast, dear masculine. And I enjoy making you laugh, providing you with things that both trigger you and inspire you. I enjoy playing the game with you, and I enjoy being able to know that my only job is not to make you do anything. It's not to force you or focus on you or anything. It is simply to go about my own day glowing up and holding a vision of you in my heart, of the masculine I've always known you to be. The masculine you've been afraid to show the world for some time, and the masculine I know that you're going to show the world soon and shine brighter than the sun when you learn self-love. And that day, masculine, is going to be one of the best. It's coming fairly soon. The cycles of old karmic lessons are nearly complete. And something tells me this full moon tonight will help you see that too. Either way, dear masculine, until next we meet or text or talk or telepathically connect, I love you, your divine feminine.